Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about AMC. We're going to do a price action breakdown, very quick, short, and to the point. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say before we hop into any of this is going into the previous video, I did think we'd get a push down to about 31.9, 31.5, that range about right, here saying so. And I don't want to take full credit for saying I'm right or anything like that. But something that really helped this happen was the markets taking such a big hit today. But we're going to talk about that more here in a second after we run through the chart, because some of this stuff is coming to light that I mentioned in the previous video. So I want to talk about that exclusively, but I want to mention that this wasn't solely based on TA why we broke down. I definitely think that the market being affected by the Delta variant and stuff like that is affecting AMC as well, but it's bouncing back very nice. You had a huge run back. You got the reaction you expected, right? You wanted to see that push down, and we got a strong break back above the weekly, tested and held weekly and the VWAP, and now we're pushing back into that trend. I mean, this is perfect price action. This is everything you wanted. Now going into the week, where are we targeting? You want to see another test of that 38, 39. And like I said, I think if you push back to that range, you're breaking straight through it and you're coming to test 41.5. I think that's where the real test is going to go. I think you might move up a little bit of a rejection coming right through. That's what I want to see. Now, this part right here might take a little bit longer, moving sideways a little bit, but ultimately, I don't see you topping off at 38, 39 again. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit more into why going into the rest of the video after the charting as well, but just personally, that's what I'm seeing. OBV also looks pretty good. You're pushing back to those local highs, even considering that you're not as high on price as you were before when you tested that range. This is something you've seen time and time again with AMC. You're seeing OBV testing even higher, even when the price is lower. So I think you're definitely queuing up for a strong bullish breakout. Sorry for the random circle right there. So I think you start pushing above this range, you're gonna start seeing some crazy price action. This is really good stuff that you're seeing from AMC, and I love what I'm seeing. I love the price action, some slow and steady movement. You're testing key zones over and over. You finally get that perfect touch of that monthly level there as well. Overall, the chart looks good. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get too in your head. If you start seeing a dump and stuff like that, you're going to see some dumps along the way. Overall, beautiful movement, a great fake out of this bear flag as well. I mentioned that. That's what I wanted to see, right? You had a bear flag, you wanted to see a false breakout and then a retest back in. That's what you want to see from this range. Now, if for some reason we rejected this area tomorrow coming back down, that would be bad. But as of right now, I see us continuing to move back up. Indexes look like they're trying to recover. I recommend people just be a little bit safer and a little bit more cautious with their trading right now, just because of how the markets are moving. And you don't know how the markets are going to react to this COVID cases coming out, because they are becoming a very large topic in the world news right now. All right, so I'm going to try to get us out of here as quickly as possible. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Delta variant. And you heard me mention this in the last two videos. I didn't anticipate this to affect the market so quickly, but it did. And what I want to say is right now, if you turn to CNN, maybe Fox News, but I know CNN for sure, it's all they're talking about right now. The topics are we having another lockdown? New York has already said they're not doing another lockdown. Los Angeles is doing a mask mandate. They're kind of up in the air right now. But it's worth mentioning, we did the same thing last time. Everyone was like, we're not going to lock down. We're not doing that. And then people started dying, unfortunately, and that's when they made that decision. So you never know what people are really going to do and what's really capable of happening until worst case scenario starts to step into place. It's also worth mentioning the people that are getting this virus are the same people that have already had both doses of their vaccine already. So that doesn't mean you're immune to it. So this also builds on the likelihood of them really trying to enforce some type of stay-at-home mandate because of what's going on. But I think this will prove that we've done this before and we're already back here. So I think the herd immunity might be the way to go. I'm not a scientist. I can't say what's best to happen, but I would just assume that's going to be their argument in this decision specifically. And that's just my opinion on it. Now, going past this to a financial standpoint behind this, you don't know how this is going to affect AMC. What I will say is you saw a very strong reaction to that 31.5, 31.9 range. We held there terrific. The markets continued to dip after we hit that point. So if you go look at the time frames, it hit 31.5, 31.9, and then it just stayed sideways while the Nasdaq, Dow, SPY continued to dump. that was a really strong indicator, in my opinion, that bottom really does look like a bottom at this time right now, and it looks like you're going to get a strong recovery from it. I was talking about in Discord, but for me personally, as I was just looking at the market dumping across the board, I was not comfortable taking option trades. Stock looks beautiful, looks great there. Options, very risky, and you want to have the odds to definitely be in your favor. And I do think, yes, technically it looks great, but if all indexes are dumping, I never want to bet against the rest of the market because that's just a dangerous thing to do. So with options, I took a step back. I did not get into them. However, it looked phenomenal, and it looks phenomenal based on the chart. I still don't think I'll trade any of those options tomorrow just because I am so concerned with the market right now, and there is no way of knowing what's going to happen in the next few days, just like there was no way of knowing what was going to happen a year ago when the same thing was happening. Going into AMC though, there's a lot of positive things happening right now. First of all, the chart looks amazing. That's the best news that there is right now. Number two, you're also seeing more options contracts come into play for a possible gamma squeeze. That's really bullish news if you start to really think about it. So in September, they have a lot coming in. August, they have more coming in. So you want to start seeing these key catalyst days setting up with a lot of options for a possible gamma squeeze. Now, I'll make a video going over those specific dates and going over those ranges, the ones that I can kind of see right now. And we'll talk about that and more in the next video, most likely. But as of right now, I just want to point out there is good things happening to AMC. Yes, AMC dropped today. It was expected. We talked about it. It was totally expected. So don't get too shaken up. The recovery was great. You sat at 33 for a while, and then you bumped right back up to 35. I love what's going on. I want to see a push of 38, 39. High possibility that could happen tomorrow. I'm not setting dates for a pump or anything like that, but I'm just showing you the next ranges of resistance that we continue to test. It's very simple and very practical to look at the charts in this way. Just look at each section of resistance and support. That's all you really need to do. AMC's moving like a lot of other stocks. You come up to the next range, you either get rejected, you stagnate, or you break through. It's very simple, and that's simple price action trading, and that's pretty much how I model all of my trades after. So I'll have more videos coming out. If you want to get more information, my Twitter link is down below. I'm tweeting typically all day, 24/7, random nonsense, trolling, and sometimes even my entries. So like, subscribe, do what you got to do. We'll be back tomorrow. I just got to say one thing for the boys. Namaste.
Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we